What is up, guys? Unsurpassable Z. Welcome to my summer year 5 farm tour here on Stardew Valley. I play on this world with just myself and my girlfriend, and we have around 120 hours played, the first 100 hours of which were streamed on Twitch. We don't play on this farm live anymore since we sort of switched over to our community farm with more than 10 people and our evil playthrough, but we still play on this farm all the time. If you guys ever do want to watch us play live though, I stream at twitch.tv/unsupassablez, and I would love to have you guys there. This is essentially the first farm that either of us played on this game, and we actually didn't look anything up for the first 2 years, so we weren't the most efficient, but we are slowly making our way towards maxing it out. So let's get right into it. Starting off with a little home tour, here we have our modern bed aesthetic, as well as the big TV right beside, and a couple of statues that I think look nice. Over here is a cool little area to sit that M designed, and down here is my feng shui garden that features a fish tank with some of my favorite fish. Moving over here, the kitchen is pretty much the same. It has the jukebox in it as well, in case we ever want to play any tunes. And down in the basement is one of the 2 places that we keep our casks. We're still working on acquiring enough hardwood and regular wood to fill out this basement with casks, but once we head over to M's house, you'll see what we're going for. Heading back upstairs, this area is a little bit of a mess for me. We call this room the efficiency room, just because it has some machines in it. It doesn't make sense and it's not really efficient at all. And here we have a nursery which features a bone theme, which is just a great way for a child to grow up. And we haven't quite figured out what to do with this room yet. Now let's head outside to take a look at the farm. Stepping outside over here, you can see we have our horse. His name is Donkey, and he has served us very well over the years. We've also moved our shipping bin from the default location to in between our houses, which is a new feature from 1.5, which is a lot more convenient we found for selling our stuff. Before we go any further on the farm, let's head inside of M's house to check out what she's got. This is a look inside of M's house. We have the aquatic sanctuary, which you get from Key's challenges, and we have her bedroom, which features a really cool butterfly hutch that we saved up our bat wings for. Her upstairs area is a lot more better tended to than mine, as she has a nice little garden here growing, and then her nursery actually features some really nice stuffed animals and a Feast of the Winter Star tree. When we head into the basement, you'll see how much more hers is filled out. We actually had this basement first was just casks, and then my basement was kegs, but we just recently moved all of those elsewhere, which I'll show you later on the farm. To my knowledge though, this is as many casks as you can fit in the basement, and we use it to produce a large amount of starfruit wine. Our main section over here features a storage area as well as a bunch of furnaces. This is one of the first areas that we ever created on this world. Also, there was one season where we were growing a bunch of extra pumpkin seeds that we had, and we got a giant pumpkin smack in the middle of this row, and so we decided to turn it into a whole area. Our organization isn't really the greatest. The red chest here is sort of like nature things, like we have the guys that you get from tapping trees. We have some wood, sap, fiber is in here, that sort of thing. The next chest over was originally supposed to be where we had all of our finished products like floors and walls, but some other stuff has made its way in there. Not very efficient, I know. The green chest started off as our mining chest, but ended up becoming our main chest, as this is what we end up going into more often than anything else. The yellow chest here was temporary. This is a lot of stuff from Ginger Island and a lot of the stuff that we'd gotten from the 1.5 update that we don't quite know what to do with yet. We're saving up 10 more dragon teeth so that we can get the warp obelisk directly to Ginger Island as we have the other 3, but there's still a lot left to get. We also just recently purchased the return scepter, which has been super helpful, and I can see why it's worth 2 million. Also, while doing one of Key's challenges, we got a galaxy soul, which we'll eventually use to upgrade to the infinity weapons. Here in this purple chest is a lot of the minerals that we have, so we've got a bunch of amethyst and aquamarines and the such, as well as our prismatic shards, which we actually just spent to upgrade some of our other tools at the forge. The burgundy chest right above it is the same thing, it's just kind of an overflow since there's too many to fit inside of one chest. The gray chest is currently empty, and we use the cyan chest a lot of the time for extra seeds that we have that we don't want to plant immediately. And finally, this orange chest is empty too. Moving to the left, you can see the slime hutch. This is not at all set up optimally because we just kind of learned recently what a slime hutch is actually used for. So hopefully in the future we can get rid of a lot of these green slimes and start replacing them with some purples or some tiger slimes. To the left here is a new area. We just planted all of these trees and tapped all of them so that they can produce a lot of stuff like oak resin and pine tar and maple syrup. All the way in the corner we have our silos as well as Grandpa's shrine, which is protected by some of our favorite statues, including the new Iridium Krobus one. Moving down from here is the main area where we grow all of our crops. You can see we have a ton of starfruit planted right now, and we've chosen this arrangement with the Junimo huts and the scarecrows as we found it's very efficient. This meteor fell right in the middle of the path at some point, and we kind of liked the way that it looked, so we just left it here. At some point we might decorate it like we have the pumpkin up in the top corner, but for now it's just sitting in the middle of the path. Down here we have our museum, which is new as of a couple of days ago. We have been saving up our items for a little bit, but we're still obviously in progress of making this look a lot better. Hopefully by next year when I do another farm tour, we'll have this area a lot more filled in, as well as the legendary fish in the middle, but for now I just figured I'd include it in case anyone was interested. Back outside, I'll show you another cool thing that we just got from the 1.5 update. We have 2 mini-obelisks on our farm that allow you to teleport between the 2. You get them by completing one of the special orders on the board outside of Mayor Lewis's house. Now that we're back home, we can take a look at our new area, which is all new from just this past winter. The shed on the left is holding our Crystalariums, which you can see are mass-producing jades for the Skull Cavern. After my last Skull Cavern video did so well, I figured I would do an updated version, so having these jades to buy staircases from the Desert Trader is something that's going to come in handy when I make that new video. Moving over to the right is where we keep our preserves jars, which we're still working on filling in, of course, but in these preserves jars we're making a bunch of starfruit jelly, which sells for a lot. Since the 1.5 update allows you to move the greenhouse, we moved ours to an area that makes a little bit more sense for us. Inside we have a bunch of crops that have been here for, I swear, like 4 years, as well as a bunch of different fruit trees, including the new banana and mango trees that you get from Ginger Island. I know that this is not at all the most optimal way to lay out a greenhouse, but we planted these crops a long time ago, and it's still nice to kind of have some passive income. Last year we didn't really have any beehives, but I kind of like not having to look at the same crops over and over again, and I think this area looks a lot better with them. This little pond area was really hard to actually do anything useful with, so we kind of just made it look nice with some cool decorations. Up here we have our obelisks to the desert, to the ocean, and to the mountains. We got all 3 of these and the return scepter within the last 2 seasons, so all of a sudden we went from having no means of transportation to a lot of different options. Our coop doesn't really have anything special inside, but someone's probably going to want to call PETA once they see what we did with our kegs inside of our barn here. I had to talk Emma to this one because it's strictly for efficiency, and she didn't love how the animals were all crowded in here, but at least now we get to produce a lot of starfruit wine. Here we've set up some lightning rods with some grass starters underneath of it, which helps to offset the amount of hay that we need to keep in our silos. To the left is our fish pond area where we have midnight squid in this one, sturgeons here, and we have lava eels in this one. This pond is still empty, but we're hoping to put stingray in here since we still need dragon teeth for our Ginger Island obelisk. And over here we somehow managed to squeeze in nearly another 400 crops laid out in a pretty optimal pattern. And to separate us from the outside world, we have nearly 40 of the beautiful flamingo, which is of course the mascot of our Twitch channel. Now to finish the tour, we'll hop over onto Ginger Island and show you the farm that we have there. And since crops grow year round, of course we had to go a little bit overkill and plant a bunch of ancient fruit and star fruit here. Our Ginger Island farm has nearly 600 more spots for our star fruit to grow, which is how we're able to keep something cooking in our kegs and our casks at all times. And to close our tour out, we'll take a look at our perfection rating in Key's walnut room. Right now we're sitting at a rating of 40%, but hopefully we'll have this number a lot higher by the next time we do a farm tour. So thank you guys so much for checking out the farm tour. I hope this is cool for you to see. If you guys want to see this in the future, let me know. I plan on doing it probably every year so you guys can follow along with our progress. And if you guys want to watch us stream Stardew Valley live, I would love to have you over there at twitch.tv/unsurpassablez. But that's all I have now for this video, so I'll see you next time. Peace.